Just like Cinderella's 1988 heart-touching rock says, you don't know what you got till it's gone. I liked Andrew Luck a lot. I mean, why wouldn't I? He was and always will be my beard brother. Luck has appeared in a lot of my videos. Okay, so not in person, but he's always there, hanging out in the back. Listen everyone, Rob Gronkowski retired from football because he was too sad to play, but if we get this channel to 69,000 subscribers, Rob Gronkowski said he'll be happy enough to unretire and play in the NFL. Now at this point, it's been about a week and a half since Andrew Luck announced his retirement, and it hit me hard. Apart from one tweet announcing my retirement from being a Colts fan, and I know, a banger, I have said nothing about it. Also, that tweet is not the simultaneous retirement the title refers to, more on that later. Now, I know plenty of worse things can happen in life, but as much as any sport thing can affect me, this did. You see, what I didn't realize was that Andrew Luck was my favorite player. In 2016, I made my first Q&A video, and the question came up, who is your favorite player? My answer was what I still would have said up until 2 weeks ago. I don't really have one, but I really like Julio Jones. That is until Andrew Luck retired, and I realized how much he meant to me as a player. He was the total package in a league of total packages. Athletic, smart, clutch, a great teammate, and a respectful opponent. Andrew Luck had all the arm talent in the world and the same 40-yard dash time as Cam Newton to match it. But most importantly, it was the intangibles. His ability to take his team down the field effortlessly on a game-winning drive, his willingness to go back to a receiver who just dropped a pass, something which certainly aided Eric Ebron's sudden explosion last year. Andrew Luck is my idol. Personally, athletically, he's a man you'd really struggle to dislike. I just didn't realize how much I liked him as a player until he retired. And it makes me genuinely sad to think about no longer hearing his booming voice during his cadence. With Luck, the Colts were always a contender, no matter how bad the supporting cast was, and if Luck hadn't retired so young, it would have only been a case of when and not if he wins a Super Bowl. So I'll miss waiting for what to me seemed an inevitable moment, Luck's rise to the top as a Super Bowl champion, and I'll miss knowing that regardless of who they played against, it was probably a good game and worth watching. The Colts finally surrounded Luck with talent, but he won't get to take advantage of the deep receiver corps, a solid running game, and sneaky good defense. Maybe Jacoby Brissett will do well, but as a neutral who couldn't help but be drawn towards the Colts, the interest isn't as strong for me anymore. Just like I've followed Jimmy Butler from the Bulls to the Timberwolves to the 76ers to the Heat, it turns out I was drawn in by Luck and not a revitalized Colts organization. So boo-hoo, sad, I miss Luck, but what is the title of the video about? It turns out Andrew Luck and I have more in common than just our beards. We truly are beard brothers because we both announced our retirements from organized football on the same day. Now let me back it up a little bit here, we're going to need some context. Something I've never really talked about on YouTube is my career, and career in quotation marks, as a football coach. For the last 4 years I've been living and coaching football in Germany, and I coached an under-19 team, so the age equivalent of high school. I started out as the running backs coach, moved on to offensive coordinator in my second year, and I spent the last 2 years as the head coach, a role I didn't really want as I was just happy with the coordinator job, but circumstances led to the position being vacant, and rather than having someone else tell me how to run the offense, I accepted the offer of taking the position of head coach. I know for a fact that some players and other guys from the team watch my videos occasionally, so I can't make things sound more impressive than they were for clout, even if I wanted to, but I also know you'd be interested to know how good or bad we were, so I'll go into some detail about that. The reason I never mentioned anything before was for privacy for the players, the team, myself, whatever, so I'll continue to stick to that a little bit, but I'll share some clips too, because I'm pretty sure those high school kids getting hit-sticked on Instagram didn't sign release forms either. Let's go year by year. So, my first year was quite an introduction. We lost every single game by a combined score of 58 to 384. Now there's plenty of video available, none of it high quality, so I'll just show this, which also gives you an idea of the kinds of fields we play on. Regulation size, we just often share markings with the other football. Now I do believe I'm correct in saying that this quarterback currently plays D2 football at Azusa Pacific. And now I have to include a clip from this game too, because this was at a time where my channel blew up for the first time. I was getting like 100 emails a day from YouTube about comments and subscribers, and I kept going over to my bag to check on my phone whenever I had the chance at this game. I went from around 100 subscribers to 1,500 around that weekend. It was very exciting for me. But moving on to the next season as swiftly as possible, where I gained control of the offense. Now this season was much better. We went undefeated, won the state championship, scored the most points per game in the entire country. Now rest assured, there should be some quotation marks around some of those words, but I'm here for football clout, so I can start making technical breakdown videos of one route Antonio Brown ran in practice one time for Beardmohbox.com. It's all technically true, but it just doesn't hold the same weight as it would if this was high school football. I didn't have much to do with the success. We were lucky to have a bunch of really good players on offense that year and for only that year. Now this clip's important because not only can we see me in action, we can also see my blazing speed. Actually, watching clips from this season gave me the same feelings I had when thinking about Luck's retirement. It was a great time I wish I could have lived in for longer. There's guys in this team that went on to coach under me and that I hope I'll keep in touch with for a long time. But as much fun as it was to have them around as coaches, I'd miss them so much as players. But now on to the third year. My first year as a head coach, that's right, quite the meteoric rise you could argue. They call me the even younger Sean McVay. In this season we broke some team records for success but missed out on our primary goal of fighting for promotion into the top league in the country. We lost some games we shouldn't have but really missed out because only one team from the league went on to the playoff game for promotion despite there being two divisions. So we topped the division, but because of the stupid arrangement, that's the way it was. We could have also just won more games and then we would have played for promotion too. So this season ended with nothing more than good memories and a few team records broken for games won, points scored, etc., as well as a bunch of key players aging out, 4 of whom came back to coach, and now we're here, my final year. Now, this one was a struggle, a lot of turnover on the roster, but of course not without its good moments, and it's a shame to leave this team before the season is over, but that's unfortunately what I have done, and it brings us back to the title of this video. On Saturday the 24th of August, just hours before Andrew Luck's surprise announcement, I announced to the team that I would be stepping down. Now technically it's not a retirement because it was more of a I have to leave because, but I don't see coaching or playing football coming up in my future anytime soon. I see it as retirement. I'm stepping away from the game. Now, I may pull a Dante Scarnecchia and come out of retirement in a few years, maybe, but for now, I'm retired, like my beard brother, Andrew Luck. Now, the reason why I call it retiring rather than stopping at this team and going on to another one at a later point is because of these guys. Now, I understand nobody likes referees, and they always blow calls, but here in Germany, it's not so much blown calls. It's complete and utter lack of knowledge of the rules and poor enforcement of the ones they do know. Now, you may think I'm just whining because things don't go my way, but check out this play. It goes horribly wrong, and our right tackle ends up catching the ball and taking it 15 to 20 yards downfield. Now, this man clearly is unhappy about the situation. Trust me, we were too, but it took the referees 5 minutes to figure it out. They never actually threw a flag for the incident until after it was pointed out to them. And our sideline, of course, stayed quiet throughout the whole thing because nothing wrong with that play. Then there's this occasion from my very last game. Our receiver here makes a great sideline catch. This genius ruled it out, but I'll be fair to him, he was new. It was the guy further down the sideline who said, yeah, he caught it, but only got 1 foot down, ruling him out. Now, I should point out that we use NCAA rules, but I'm sure nobody expected us to be using NFL rules, except for, of course, that referee who gets paid to be that stupid. He ruled it incomplete because he only got 1 foot down in college rule football. Now, I actually was able to overturn the decision in part with this video, making it, I believe, the first ever successful video challenge in AFVD history. Now, which I also believe probably is against some rules, but who knows? So there it is, my career as a coach that you never knew about is over. So allow me to fully end this chapter of my life by catching you up on everything you missed out on by me never talking about it. A few years ago, I received a graduate assistant position in Division 2. I've coached men's, women's and youth football in England and Germany, but now it's all over before it ever really began. Andrew Luck and I aren't the same age, but we're pretty close, and we've both retired early from the sport we love. I should point out I'm younger than Andrew Luck. Beard Brothers for life is what we will always be. Andrew, feel free to hit me up.